Hey guys, it's Lavos. Welcome to my Marvel Avengers review. Marvel Avengers is a third-person action-adventure game with RPG elements, developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square Enix. It's a live service game. Graphically, Marvel Avengers is a very beautiful game. The heroes have good character design, some better than others. Their character animations range from good to odd, and sometimes outright amusing. I know it's not the MCU movies Avengers, but having been a fan of the comics, and knowing it would be crazy expensive to get the MCU cast to voice the game, I didn't mind. The campaign. I really enjoyed the campaign. The game's main storyline takes place 5 years after AD, a celebratory day for the Avengers, wherein an event resulted in death and destruction, and the Avengers were blamed and disbanded. Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel. After the game's initial introduction, I wasn't sure I would like her. The over-enthusiastic Avengers fangirl thing seemed irksome to me. But she knocked it out of the park and I really love her character. Her and her father's relationship was really touching. She was one of the better parts of the story. Now this isn't the best story in the world. It's not going to be Game of the Year. But I really enjoyed it, and as far as live service games go, it was pretty good. The only other looter shooter game story I really ever cared about was Borderlands 2. It took me about 12 hours to beat Marvel Avengers. The characters. The cast of Marvel Avengers are Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and the aforementioned Kamala Khan Miss Marvel. They were all fun to play and different. Captain America and Hulk were the tank-based characters, with Cap being really good at melee and range attacks. He was my favorite character. Hulk had also good control abilities, crowd control, and survivability. Black Widow and Iron Man were more glass cannon DPS, and Thor I thought was a good crowd control DPS character. Miss Marvel is a group healer, the only character that can up themselves when she goes down. I thought they were all well voice acted and were all fun to play. Gameplay. Now combat isn't very complicated in Marvel Avengers, and isn't very deep. There's a block button, a dodge button, light, heavy, so on. But it was still a lot of fun, and the variety of characters helped a lot. And when there are going to be free DLC characters and a free next gen upgrade, I'm really excited for the future of this game. Now all that being said, there was stuff that I did not like about this game. Let's get into it. The loot. The loot system in Marvel Avengers seemed shoehorned in, just to check a box because it's a live service game. Compared to other games like Borderlands 3, it's very uninspiring and not very exciting. Frame rate and glitches. This game has frame rate issues on my PS4 Pro, to which I understand they will patch soon, but at the time of this review, I was still getting frame rate issues. I'm told that PC players were having similar issues, but I do not have a PC version of the game. I fell through the map twice, and there were actually funny glitches, or what I like to call Skyrim glitches. There were not plenty of crashes for me, and the glitches were not aplenty for me either, but I did have to mention the one or two. I only crashed once, and that was in multiplayer, and never crashed in single player. The live service game aspect. In live service games, the combat always feels different to single player games. They always feel a little MMOE, if that is a word, and floaty. It's the same thing with other games like Destiny. Borderlands actually does it alright, but Borderlands isn't as live service as Destiny or as Marvel Avengers. There is a store in the game to buy cosmetic stuff like costumes and emotes. It isn't very intrusive or pay to win, but it's still there. And I think for a game that is a full $60 product, they could have been a little more generous with their in-game currency. Live service games are always tricky to review, because the score I give today could be different in a year. When Borderlands 3 came out, I would have given it a 6 or a 7. If I were to give Borderlands 3 a score today, I would give it a 9. Because in live service games, there's always additional content, balances, and adjustments. The developers make adjustments due to feedback. It happened with Destiny when the Taken King came out, and other games like The Division and so on. With that being said, I'm giving Marvel Avengers a 7 out of 10 with the caveat that if you don't enjoy grinding, and that grinding loot gameplay aspect, well then the 12-hour campaign might not be worth it for you. You may have to wait a little while for a discount to get it a little cheaper. Also, I usually find one outfit per character that I like and forget about cosmetics. But if you like to unlock costumes and cosmetics and emotes and stuff like that, I find it hard to believe that you can unlock most of them with how the game is currently structured, unless you're using real world cash, which is exactly why it was structured that way. I didn't think this game's beta did it justice, and for me personally, the battle pass thing doesn't bother me because all the DLC characters are free, and like I said, cosmetics doesn't bother me, but I might be different from you. If it's an issue for you, then this game might be a 6. I suggest waiting a year for when the game is on sale with more content and probably more balanced, and purchasing it then. Thank you for watching my review. Like and subscribe. Bye guys.